Well, it's early fall up in Door County and at the clearing, and we have some fall color. And we'll start with what is probably the most common deciduous shrub in Door County, Roundleaf Dogwood. It's one of several native dogwoods up here. Roundleaf because it has a fatter, rounder leaf than the other dogwoods, but it has that typical dogwood veination, these parallel veins that when they get to the edge or the leaf margin, the edge of the leaf, they kind of curl up and never quite make it to the end. The classic dogwood leaf veination, and also classic dogwood fall color. Many dogwoods turn this kind of maroonish red in fall. They all have good fall color. All dogwoods except for one, it happens to be a native one, pagoda dogwood is alternate leaved. The other dogwoods are opposite leaved, one on each side of a stem like that. But great fall color, and also a great fruit, although on this particular plant they never did develop fully. They're about a fourth the size that they should be, but dogwoods all have some kind of berry-like fruit. On some plants like red osier dogwood, they turn white when they mature. On roundleaf dogwood, they turn kind of light blue to a darker blue. It varies from plant to plant. But these, it must be too dry in this site that they never did develop much. But when the fruit dries off, whether it's developed or not, what's left behind are these reddish berry stems. They're called pedicels, and they remain colorful for several weeks yet before they drop off, but not the typical mature fruit on this particular roundleaf dogwood. But great fall color, and they're all over right now, looking just like this, roundleaf dogwood. This is Arborvitae, or what people call most people call cedar or white cedar. I learned it as Arborvitae, so that's what I usually call it. And this is, to me anyway, fall color in Arborvitae. It's one of those conifers that suddenly drops, yellows and drops a lot of its old foliage in fall. The true pines also do this, and around here that's white pine and red pine, and our invasive pine, Scots pine. But this is seasonal needle drop on Arborvitae. They turn yellow seemingly overnight, yellowish brown, and then you can see they break off pretty easily, so that they'll drop when it gets windy enough. So people are concerned that something's wrong with their tree. They have some kind of disease and they want to know what to spray on it, and it's just natural. It's again called seasonal needle drop, and I tell people enjoy it like you would enjoy fall color on a sugar maple. They'll all fall off eventually. Seasonal needle drop on Arborvitae. We're at the campus entrance on Garrett Bay Road, and this is Virginia creeper, also called woodbine. It's a member of the grape family, and it has this whole thing right here is one leaf. This is a palmately compound leaf with 5 leaflets making up the entire leaf. And they turn, one of the first plants to turn color in fall, and nice shades of red. The more sun, the brighter the red. It also crawls along the ground like you see in here. And in more shade down here, it's not as bright red, more muted. Still nice, but it does have wonderful fall color. It's unusual palmately compound leaf. It can get a little bit weedy at times, and it likes to crawl up buildings too. And on stone buildings, that's not so much of a problem. Stone and brick, but on wooden structures, it kind of holds a lot of moisture in there for long periods of time and can be damaging, so you want to watch it on certain buildings. But when it crawls up a tree trunk like this, it's just great, and the fall color is fantastic. So Virginia creeper or woodbine. Now this is obviously an apple tree not far from the Jensen Center. I'm not sure if it's a seedling apple that came up on its own or if it's part of what used to be an orchard here years ago. Could be either one. It's a fairly old tree. Apples aren't native in Door County, but they're all over, and they don't become invasive, but you see them here and there. They come up on their own, and they add, of course, a splash of color this time of year. Actually, I just ate one of these. It's not too bad either. So this might be an original orchard tree, but again, apples are, you see them all around. On my property, I've got several of them that come up on their own. So kind of wild apples, but a lot of color this time of year on apples here at the clearing. We're at the north end of the Homestead Meadow, and this is white ash. Of all the native trees in Door County, this is the one that develops full fall color earliest. Ash are known for being late to leaf out and early to drop their leaves in fall. Late to leaf out in spring, early to drop their leaves in fall. And here, this is the color on ash that's, about as good as it gets, this kind of dark purple. It'll be shades of light purple through this dark purple. Ash, of course, also have a compound leaf like Virginia creeper, but in the case of ash, they're pinnately compound, like pinnae on a fern stem, versus palmate, like fingers on a hand with Virginia creeper. But this whole structure is one leaf. These are all leaflets. And the bud, which is at the base of a true leaf, is where I tore it off, where it joins the stem. So this is a pinnately compound leaf. We're enjoying white ash fall color while we can, because they are going to disappear fast. They are already in Door County. We have 3 native species: white ash, green ash, and black ash. All are affected by the emerald ash borer, which is all over the county now. And we have it at the clearing now too. We first identified it for sure this past winter. So it's here, and so we're going to enjoy ash while we can. Fall color on white ash. This is Staghorn Sumac, also at the north edge of the Homestead Meadow. We don't have a lot of sumac here. Couple nice clumps on Central Campus, but here is the fall color on Staghorn Sumac, which is another early woody plant. It develops its fall color early. And like white ash, it has a pinnately compound leaf. This whole thing is one leaf, and these are the leaflets. But this is a plant that everybody knows primarily for its fall color, Staghorn Sumac. There isn't a lot blooming at the clearing or in Door County in the fall out in the woods. This is one of them though. This is Zigzag Goldenrod. You wouldn't notice it or recognize it as a goldenrod at first glance because the inflorescence, the cluster of flowers, is so different than anything else in that genus of goldenrods. But if you look at an individual flower and compare it with the others, then you'll see that it is a goldenrod. And this is zigzag goldenrod because the stem zigs and zags, zigs or zags at each leaf node. A lot of plants do that. This is the one that was lucky enough to get the name Zigzag. And like a lot of plants that are grown in the shade, it has a bigger leaf. Much different leaf than other goldenrods, which are narrow typically. It has a bigger leaf so it can capture more sunlight. So this is our fall blooming, well, they're all fall blooming, but this is our woodland goldenrod, Zigzag goldenrod. Well, we're off the clearing property for this last plant over on Badger Road, and we're here because we don't have this at the clearing. This is New England Aster, one of half a dozen or so native asters, and it's in bloom all over, especially in the ditches in Door County right now, but we don't have any of it at the clearing, which is too bad. So we have to go off property to see this. This is typical color, often this shade of purple, but it can be darker than this sometimes, or even into the pinks sometimes, so quite a range of color. This is typical. And as aster flowers go, at least the native asters up here, this is about the biggest one. It's a beautiful plant. I'm trying to grow it at my house, but the deer also think it's beautiful, at least beautiful to eat, so they keep chewing it down, and mine don't flower. But it is in bloom everywhere in Door County right now along the roadsides, and so we thought we'd come over here and show it to you. New England Aster.